My name is Arul Mori. My greetings and respect to the parents and elders who are at home too. So let's begin the session. My first session is on vocabulary development. I'm also going to be coming for some other sessions as well. For vocabulary development, we have chosen 3 rounds. So round number 1, spell it right. Your round number 10, crossword, and your round number 12, compound words and types and kinds of words. So all these rounds deal with words, mastering the words. And therefore, this session, I've titled it as Lexis. Lexis is nothing but the totality of the words in a language. This session and all my sessions will be organized on a theme, because we strongly believe that whatever you teach in an indoor classroom can be taught outside those 4 walls, often in more enjoyable ways for you. So in this session, I'm going to be taking you for a drive. Your vocab is here. Let's go for a drive. Are you ready? You will want to know where we're going, right? So here is the route map. We'll be starting with the myths and truths of spelling, and then we'll talk about the phonemic transcription and about the sound spelling correspondence. And then we'll talk about the spelling patterns, because I don't want to call them rules because English has more exceptions than rules. So let's just call it some patterns that can be useful in mastering spelling. And finally, we're going to see the different types and kinds of words. It's going to be a long drive. So fasten your seatbelts. Here we go. Do you remember this time in your life? At that one magical instance, the page of a book, that string of confused alien ciphers shivered into meaning and words spoke to you, and they gave up their secrets. At that moment, the whole universe opened and you became irrevocably a reader. So I really loved that quote. Words have incredible power. It can hurt a person or it can heal a person. Words can demoralize somebody. It can even delight somebody. It can build barriers among people, communities, nations, or it can even build understanding in people's hearts. It can start wars or it can even end them. So words have frightening power. It can do so many things, right? And this is a quote from one of my most favorite characters in literature. I'm sure most of yours too. Words are our most inexhaustible source of magic, capable of both inflicting injury and remedying it. Moving on, let's talk about your 1,000 words. That is in your round number 1. They are not randomly chosen. They were very carefully chosen based on the number of letters in the words, complexity of the meanings of those words, and how you can use those words in your daily life. That usability was checked. And you can see that in your round 1, you will have all types of words. Like, for example, you will have compound words, you will have phrasal verbs, and you will also have words of all word classes: nouns, adjectives, adverbs, conjunctions, prepositions, interjections, all these words. So a lot of research went into, bringing those appropriate words to you. So these words are our raw material. What are we going to do with those words? Lexis is finite. The number of words in any language is finite. But lexical possibilities, what can be done with those words? It's infinite, right? So many ways words can be combined together, and I really liked this quote too. Words, so innocent and powerless as they are when they are in a dictionary, but how potent for good and evil they become in the hands of one who knows how to combine them. So that's what we want to make you, a powerful, effective communicator. Now it's time to bust some myths. Okay, let's go do that. Before that, this is a preface written by Bernard Shaw for his book Pygmalion. I've highlighted those lines for you. Let's read them. The English have no respect for their language and will not teach their children to speak it. They spell it so abominably that no man can teach himself what it sounds like. It is impossible for an Englishman to open his mouth without making some other Englishman hate or despise him. German and Spanish are accessible to foreigners, but English is not accessible even to Englishmen. So that's Bernard Shaw, that picture there. So there are several myths surrounding English. I'm sure most of you would have received this message as a forward in your email inbox or in your WhatsApp. I've received this many times. According to a researcher at Cambridge, you can read that, right? Huh. So I was wondering maybe it had some credit to it. You want to read the whole thing? Let's do that. According to a research at Cambridge University, it does not matter in what order the letters in a word are. The only important thing is that the first and the last letter be at the right place. The rest can be a total mess and you can still read it without problem. This is because the human mind does not read every letter by itself, but the word as a whole. I really was wondering if this had any credit to it. And in my research, I found that this research never happened. According to Matt Davis, who works for the Cognition and Brain Sciences Unit in Cambridge, no such study has ever taken place. So it's a fake news. Right, I tried to copy him. I'm sure he does it better. So if you want to read the whole article, you have to go visit that link there. So is English spelling important? It is important. Because take this sentence, for example. If we're going to have the first and the last letter as constant, you get so many possibilities still. So which is the right one? Which is the correct one? Which one should we understand? So this is actually not true. That claim that the spelling can be jumbled, the letters need not be in the right order is all false. So the meanings of some words that you might not understand are here. If you want, you can pause and see that. And spell checker and autocorrect, they are not a solution because a spell checker will not check for that appropriate word, that exact word that you want that. For example, this poem is, it's not the whole poem, it's first few lines of a poem about spell checker. Want to read it? It says, I have a spelling checker. It came with my PC. It plainly marks for my review mistakes I cannot see. I ran this poem through it. You're sure real glad to know it's very polished in its way. My checker told me so. You can see that majority of the words they're not wrong words. They are pronounced that way. But they are homophones of the words that should have taken their place in this poem. So it says there's no mistake in spelling in this poem, but it makes no sense, right? So this is what a spell checker can do for you, and its limitation is that. And how many of you felt this way with autocorrects? I correct autocorrect more than autocorrect corrects me, right? So it is not autocorrect majority of the times, it's auto incorrect. So yeah, they are not the solution. You have to master spelling, and spelling is important. Majority of the times when I go to a restaurant, I pick up a menu card and I do not decide on what food I want to eat. My eye only goes to spot the mistakes because that's the kind of job that I do. But still, majority of you would have seen this many times, signs, billboards where they have made spelling mistakes and you will be all raged. Yeah, it's everywhere. But let's not make those spelling mistakes. Can you see what's the mistake in the first one here? Our teachers make a difference. Is there a mistake? Yes, right? There should be an E here. Difference. Are you sure you want to exit should be the word. It says exist. What happens when you click no, I wonder. Right. So you only life once? No. We don't need a noun there. We need a verb. So you only live once. What's sad is it's a tattoo. It's kind of permanent, right? The last one. So fun, they won't even know they're learning. What's wrong there? So it's a sign outside some learning center. Oh my God. they are supposedly teaching. So THEIR is a homophone of two other words, THERE and THEY apostrophe RE, right? So the word that we want there is THEY apostrophe RE, which is a contraction of they are. Right, so let's go see myth number 2. Yes, yes, myth number 2. Nouns can be pronounced in any way. I've listened to many people saying this who are very intelligent, but they assume this. I'm sure some teacher told them so, or somebody in authority told them so, that it's okay to pronounce a proper noun any way you want. That's what they assume, but proper nouns, names of people, places, etc. too, can be pronounced, should be pronounced in a particular way. They have a particular pronunciation and you must try to pronounce it as correctly as possible. You not assume that you can say however you want to say it, because the owner of the name decides how his name should be pronounced, and how should you pronounce the name of a place is how the natives pronounce it. So it is not Dr. Seuss. Everybody thinks it's Dr. Seuss, but it's not that. His name doesn't rhyme with goose. His name rhymes with voice. It's Dr. Seuss. And Greenwich, we assume that W there is pronounced, but the W is not pronounced. It's Greenwich. It's the Greenwich Mean Time. Yes. Is it myth number 3? Yes, it is myth number 3. Many people say that English is chaotic. English is a crazy language. English is hard. No, it's not. English is not chaotic or crazy. It's just complex. The more you find out about English spelling, the more you appreciate its complexity and diversity. The very form of many words gives you a hint about its history, about the words, when this word was introduced to the English language, and little by little, words starts revealing their secrets. You know this, right? All the words in English are not from English. Many words are borrowed from other languages, and every word has a story. Right. So now it's time to learn some truths. We are done with the myths. Let's go learn some truths. English is not a phonetic language. Yes, it is not pronounced the way it's written. For example, let's just take this small word, B-I-R-D. Is it bird or bird? Some people pronounce R in this word too, bird. But the UK English, the standard UK pronunciation does not have the R sound. It's only bird. The R is silent. So, it's not a phonetic language. There are like about 70 words, 70% of English words approximately are not pronounced the way it's written. Let's see how our languages are. Majority of the Indian languages, almost all, are phonetic. Spanish, Swahili, all these words, all these languages are phonetic. Let's take one word from Tamil, Paravai. Nobody is going to come to you and tell you, the Ra in Paravai, is actually silent. You're not supposed to pronounce it. It's only Pavai. No, it's Paravai. Pa-ra-vai, Paravai. Hindi, Shi-di-ya. Shidia. Pa-kshe. No letter is present in the word needlessly. So every letter is pronounced, and that's why these languages are called phonetic languages. English is not a phonetic language. We're going to see the truth number 2. There was no standard spelling. English did not have a standard spelling for a very long time. Till the late 1400s, before the printing press was invented, a word was spelled in any way. I was told the word merry now we know MERRY is merry, but it was used to be written in about more than 20 ways. I have another example here, BEAUTY. We know now that's the spelling of beauty, but the same word had so many different spellings before the printing press was invented. Now we are going to learn the truth number 3. English language has no regulating body. English does not have a regulating organization like many languages have. French has, Tamil has, Hindi has. Almost all the natural languages have a governing body. I have a hyperlink here. Let me open it. Okay. You can see all these languages here have a regulating body. So they will officiate the meanings, what should that word mean in that language, what should be the spelling of that word, but English does not have any. So you can see all the Indian languages here and the languages that you would know, for example, Bulgarian, Burmese, Cherokee, Chinese, all these languages have. French has. So, did you see Hindi? Did we have Hindi? Yes, Hindi. Central Hindi Directorate. Malayalam? Kerala Sahitya Academy. Swahili, one regulating body in Tanzania and one in Kenya. Tamil, one in Tamil Nadu, Tanjavur Tamil University, and the official language commission of the government of Tamil Nadu, and there is a regulating body in Sri Lanka as well. Even Klingon, which is not a real language, that's from literature, even that has a regulating body, whereas English does not have. Why? Why English does not have a regulating body? Because it is a first language in about 20 countries, official language in about 75 countries. Over 750 million people speak it as their first or second language, and another 750 million people speak it as a foreign language. So, who owns English? Who? So, can we have about 100 regulating bodies? English belongs not to anyone but to everyone who uses it. Indian English is very interesting. We have come up with words. If you go out of the country and use these words, people might actually not understand. For example, this word prepone is widely used in the subcontinent, but outside of India, many would not have even heard of this word. Because there is a word called postpone, we also came up with this word prepone, which means to do something at an earlier time than was planned or is usual. And this is, I've taken this snapshot from Cambridge Dictionary. You can see here that it's written Indian English, right? So that's the beauty of English. Nobody owns it. You and I do. Everybody does. Right. Now it's time for phonemic transcriptions. So what's going on between those two slashes? Because that's what you're getting in the exam, right? Your round number 1. So this phonemic transcriptions, understanding words through phonemic transcriptions in English is very important, because the spelling of an English word does not tell you how to pronounce the word, because we just saw that, right? So sometimes we cannot go by the spelling. Let's see that with an example here. C-O-M-E is come. It's a very simple word. You know how to say that word. C-O-M-E is come. How should you say? Yeah, C-O-M-E is like some. S-O-M-E some, C-O-M-E come. Can you also say H-O-M-E using the same sound? Is it hum? Some, come, hum? No, right? It's home. Oh. It takes that sound, but the letters are the same, O-M-E. So we have to understand it through the phonemic transcriptions. And what is these? IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet, given by the International Phonemic Association. So they tell us how the words should be pronounced. It's not a regulating body. It's only telling you the standard pronunciation of words. So this is our interactive chart. This chart you can see in the website. This is an interactive chart, meaning you can click on the phonemes there and understand how to make that sound, how to articulate that sound. What sound does that phoneme have? So every phoneme has three examples, and you can understand how it is placed in the word. So this is majorly reorganized by one our research associate, Mr. Andre Gonzalez Ituri. He's from Bolivia, and he will be coming and meeting you for phonetic session along with the Madam Vasanti. So this is the chart. I'm showing you this because you can master these 44 symbols. It's not at all difficult. 26 letters in the English alphabet and 44 sounds. It's really, really simple. You'll have to spend about half an hour, and you can take your parents' help if need be. Sit with them and master these sounds. 44 symbols that go into the making of the words. So this is the symbol. It is always in between these slashes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 symbols are there. And 1 is repeated twice, so 5 symbols are there. So the first symbol, E, is repeated again. It's a short vowel sound called a monophthong. So E, one second. The second sound is M, and the third one is G, G. It's not G because it also comes with the G, L. So I cannot say English. So ing. So G and U, again E. And the last one, that snake-like symbol, is sh. So E, N, G, U, E, sh. English. So what's that dot? The dot symbolizes the syllable break. So we have 2 syllables in this word, English. So this is how you understand how to make sense of the symbols, what sound these symbols represent. When you master that, you will master pronunciation. Let's go on to the next one. You can see that in some words, the R is written as a superscript, meaning it will be very small in size and placed above, not in the same line, right? So what does that mean? It means that sometimes it is pronounced and sometimes it's not. Take for example this word, car. Is it car or car? Or or? This is called rhoticity. Some dialects will pronounce the R and some will not. For example, we follow the UK English, that's England, so we will not pronounce it. It's only car when the word comes by itself. I'll explain that too. But in some dialects, like in USA, they will pronounce R. So it will be car, car. It's not car. But in UK English as well, if CAR is followed by a vowel sound, if the word that's going to come next to CAR starts with a vowel sound, then you pronounce R. Car and bike. Car and bike. It's not car and bike. Car and bike. Right? Because A is a vowel. And in the next sentence, he bought a car. It's not he bought a car. He bought a car. And in the next one, the car was bought by him. The car was bought by him. The R is pronounced. What is the R pronounced? The car was bought. Is it the car was bought? Okay, let's see the sound that's following R. You should correct me if I'm wrong. The car was bought. Is the W silent? No, the W is pronounced. So it's not followed by a vowel sound, it's followed by a consonant sound. So it's not pronounced. The car was bought. You understand this, right? Goods. So I've taken some words from your question paper. This is not your international paper. This is a past question paper, and I want you to understand the phonemic transcriptions and tell me what is the word. First word is cash. The second word has two syllables, and that stroke is the stress symbol. This will make you understand which syllable you should be stressing in that word. So it is not enjoy, it's enjoy. The second syllable is stressed. So when there is a syllable stress, the full stop that we use to separate syllables will not be there. Okay, so you can understand it still has two syllables, but that full stop or that period is not there. Because when this is mentioned, you can understand that's a syllable separation already. So the syllable that should be stressed will have this stroke before it. So what word is this? Second one? Enjoy, right? The third one is father. You understand? So which symbol is stressed? The first one, fa, the. And we just spoke about this R. So if it's going to be, I went with my father. Father run mother. Okay? If there is no sound following R, if it's going to end that sentence, father, the R is not pronounced. If that word is going to be followed by a consonant sound, then it will be pronounced. And what did I just say? If the word is going to be followed by the consonant sound, then you can see that it will be pronounced as father. My father was angry, but my father runned mother. Okay? And again, I went with my father. Then you don't pronounce that R sound. So what's the next one? Is it hats? No. What is it? By the way, these words, this is taken from a group 1 paper. Okay? It's not tough. The fourth one is hats. A. Is that sound A? No. It's A. So it's heart. Heart. H-E-A-R-T. So what is this one? Audio. Audio. What is this one? B-A-D-E. Is it bade? No. It cannot be. It's a word. B-A-D-E is a word. But that's not the word here. The word is bathe. The sound. So B-A-T-H-E. Bathe. The verb form of bath. B-A-T-H will not have that symbol, will not have this symbol. B-A-T-H will have the theta symbol. That symbol is sadly not here, or I could have shown you. So B-A-T-H you can always check. It will not come with this symbol. It will come with the theta symbol. So this is B-A-T-H-E, bathe. What is this one? Dot. Dot. What is this one? Joyful. This symbol, this superscript, it's the schwa symbol, S-C-H-W-A. All this you will be dealing in detail in the phonetic session. I'm just making you to understand the phonemic transcriptions as much as you will need to know to master the first round. So this is joyful. You cannot say F and L together, so you need a connecting sound, and that is the role played by the schwa symbol. Joyful, right? It's not joyful. You cannot say F and L together, so that's why you need that sound there. And what is this word? Sofa. And the last one, lunch. I hope it's not your lunchtime now. If it is your lunchtime, you can always pause and come back to this video. But I can continue. Right. How to understand phonetic symbols. Here you can see the UK, it's they use this symbol, and in the US they use this symbol. We are following the UK pronunciation and UK spelling, so this is what you will be getting in your book and in your question paper. So banana, this is banana, this is banana. That's how they pronounce. I'm stressing on the second syllable because that is the syllable to be stressed, which you know by this little stroke here. So banana, it's not banana, right? And here you have a very interesting thing. Some people say these two words, D-E-S-E-R-T and D-E-S-S-E-R-T, are homophones. But some people say that it is not. Actually, this word D-E-S-E-R-T can be pronounced in two different ways. As in, the first way as a noun where the stress is in the first syllable, desert. Desert. It's a place, a noun. If it is pronounced as desserts, where the second syllable is stressed, it is a verb. To leave somebody, to abandon somebody. Desserts. Okay? So this is a homophone of this word. Desserts. You understand? So these two are homophones, whereas this is not. So desert, when it is pronounced as a verb, it is a homophone of this word desert. Interesting, right? So if you're going to get this as a word in your international level, you will either write, you can write both these words. But if you're going to get this one, where the first syllable is stressed, you cannot, actually you can. You can write this word and this word. So no worries there. But you can understand that there is this minor difference. Right. So let's go. Sound spelling correspondence. You have to understand these two things to understand this correspondence. We are going to map sound with spelling. For that, you need to understand what a phoneme is, what a grapheme is. Phoneme is the smallest or the basic unit of the spoken language. Grapheme is the smallest and basic unit of the written language. You know something, English has only 44 symbols, I just told you, right? But these 44 symbols can be expressed in 1100 ways. You understand? No? I can explain you with an example. Let's see. Here, you can see this sound as in sh, shop. Sh as in shop, the first sound in shop, sh, which is represented by that snake-like symbol. There are many other ways to write that symbol in other words. For example, in the word station, the sound here, sh sound, is written as TI, sh, station. So you don't always have SH when that symbol is present. As you see in the second word, vicious. It's not VISHIOUS. Vicious with CI also takes sh sound. Session, the double S. Session, again sh sound represented by other letters. So that is why I say the 44 sounds has 1100 ways to be expressed. Like you can represent those sounds in so many other ways. It's not just one letter will represent one symbol. That's not how English works. One letter stands for more than one sound. Conversely, the same sound is represented by different letters. You understand? One letter can take the place of many sounds. We just saw that. We just saw the second one. The same sound sh was represented by different letters. Also, you can understand that one letter can take more than one sound. The word, the letter A, it's not always A, it's apple, but apple in mountain, it's mountain, not mountain. The A is not pronounced that like that. So even the smallest, actually the monophthongs, the vowel sounds have many ways to be written. You have some, it's actually the consonant sounds are very easy. But you can see this consonant C can be written as cats and also be, and it can also take the sound of sight. It's not kite. Kite would be KIT, right? So here it's cat and sight. And this letter G is also there in gun, but the letter G is also pronounced as giraffe. It's not giraffe, right? And GH is there in this word as ghost, g sound, and this word as cough, like in F. The COUGH, this GH, which takes the F sound, is also seen in words like fun, coffee, or phone, where F is not even there. And this letter L is pronounced in this word film, but it's not pronounced in calm or palm. It is silent. That's how English is. And double E can be written as EA or even EE. C and C are homophones, right? And SOW is so, and SEW is Sue. No, it's also so. SOW, SEW, and SO. So, all these three words are homophones. And these two words, YOU and EWE, which have no letters in common, are also homophones. U. The second word, EWE, is the female sheep. And the last one, KEY, is key. QUAY is also key. So this is how homophones are in English, and it's actually interesting once you are interested. So let's understand the spelling patterns, because if we're going to call it rules, then we'll also have more exceptions. So let's not talk about the rules. Let's just understand the patterns through 4 systems. We have 4 systems to understand. English spelling is not chaotic, it is only complex, and the problem is that it's not that there is no system, there are too many systems. The first one is the phonological system, the second one is the etymological system, the third one is the morphological system, and the last one is the graphemic system. The sounds, it relates to sounds, first one. The second one relates to the origin of the words. The third one relates to the morphology, how the words are formed. And the last one deals with how the words are written. So let's just see one by one. The phonological system, the alphabetic letters directly relate to the sounds. For example, here, B-A-T. If you want to write it phonetically, the phonemic transcriptions will also have B-A-T. Sound to letter correspondence is 1-to-1, but only 50% of the words approximately are phonetically spelled. And with English absorbing more words from other languages now, this percentage keeps decreasing. That's why we have the next one as the etymological system. This takes precedence over the phonological. For example, the words are pronounced the way it is pronounced in the language of origin. It's P-I-Z-Z-A. Is it pizza? No. Pizza. The first syllable is long. Pizza. And there's a D sound. Pizza. Right? So this word M-Y-T-H, the English, when it borrowed this word from Greek, it could have easily taken the Y off and inserted an I there, M-I-T-H, but it generally does not do that. So the origin is intact. We know where this word has come to English, from which language this word has come to English, and M-Y-T-H is a Greek word that is in English, and that Y is not pronounced as myth, it's myth. And K-N-I-G-H-T, the K and GH are silent. It's a German word where all these letters were pronounced. And believe me, there was a time in English when all these letters were pronounced in English too. Knight. And this is the pie chart that tells you the percentage of words in English from other languages. About this, you will understand in detail in the etymology session by Madam Devkani. Third one is the morphological system. This has a high degree of regularity compared to the other systems. It is a very learnable system, and you can see that the prefix and the suffixes attach themselves to words in a particular way. For example, excitement, we add ment without deleting e because the suffix begins with a consonant. But when you add able, the suffix begins with a vowel, so the last e is deleted. We drop off the final e of excite because the suffix starts with a vowel a. You understand? So this is morphology. We have all these morphological rules are followed in English. And the last system, okay, let's see that with an example. The morphological system, unreliability. When these two words join together, when these two word parts join together, the y becomes I. Unreliability. These are morphemes. UN, RELY, ABLE, ITY. This word has 4 morphemes in it. With the about morphemes, we'll deal in my session number 3. That's word morphology, where we will talk about word families and word friends. Right. So the third system is the graphemic system. This dictates common spelling patterns. For example, the Japanese word tsunami. Here, the Japanese pronounce this word cluster, but in English, we do not. We pronounce it when it comes at the end of the word, but not when at the beginning of the word. So the first letter is silent. The Greek word psychology or pterodactyl, we do not pronounce this cluster at the beginning of the word. So the P becomes silent. It's psychology and pterodactyl. But this cluster is pronounced when it comes at the end of the word, as in shops or cats. So this also correlates to the phonological system too. Almost no words that are of English origin will end in J or V or U. They are typically followed by E. For example, give, blue. But there are some other words. For example, menu. This is not a word of English origin. This is a borrowed word. So this U is pronounced. So you have to understand with the etymological system too. Raj, Hajj. It ends with J, but words of English origin wouldn't. And these are slang words. Here it ends with V, you can see that. And this is a very ancient word, and the YOU ends with U. And this is the last exception, abbreviation. Like flu is not the complete word. It is an abbreviation of influenza. So flu ends with U. So we are now going to go to the last part of the words session, the types and kinds of words. There are compound nouns first, because that is what comes to you in round number 12 as the first one. So what are compound words? Compound words are closed formed words or hyphenated formed words. Some compound words are open form words. It's very, very simple. The closed form has 2 nouns together, fused together without a gap. Egg as such, difference, egg, that oval egg, egg. And what is a plant? It totally means something else. But when you put these 2 words together, it becomes eggplant, which means a brinjal. And lady, bug, when it comes together, they become an insect. Tooth and brush becomes a thing, toothbrush. Pan is different, cakes is different, but together they mean a totally different item, pancakes. So these are closed form compound nouns. We also have hyphenated forms, for example, merry-go-round, runner-up, self-service. sister-in-law, all those words. And we also have open form compound nouns where there is a gap between words. Full moon has a gap in between. Bus stop, base ball, washing machine. All these are compound words too. And then we have word classes. You must have learned it as parts of the speech: nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions, interjections, articles, enumerator. We have so many things now. And verbs can belong to two different types, right? Simple, small verbs like is, was, the be forms. You know this, right? Can, could, may, might, shall, should. All these are called the auxiliary verbs or the helping verbs. These are a different category of verbs, but there are some verbs that mean something. For example, brush, eat, wake, believe, love. All these are called as lexical verbs. They have some meaning to it. So let's see this example sentence. Woohee! My friends and I are glad to have successfully reached the fourth level. It has many classes of words in it. You want to see? Or do you want to solve? Those of you who want to solve, pause this video and work it out. Those of you who just can't wait to see what these word classes are, continue with the video. Whoop-hey is an interjection. My is a pronoun. Friends, noun. And here joins two words. My friends and I. And can also join to phrases, to clauses, to sentences even. So here it does the function of joining only words. I is a pronoun. Are is an auxiliary verb. Glad. Who is glad? My friends, I. Glad is an adjective that describes both the nouns. To, preposition. Have is an auxiliary verb. Successfully. Successfully is an adverb which describes which word here? Successfully is not describing. Okay, let me wait. You tell me. Successfully is an adverb. What does an adverb do? An adverb gives us more information about the verb and also adjective. So my friends and I are glad to have successfully reached. So is it modifying a verb or an adjective here? Successfully is modifying. It's giving us more information about the verb reached. How did they reach? Successfully. So successfully is an adverb and reached is a lexical verb. It's not a helping verb. It's not an auxiliary verb. So the is an article. We have only three articles, a, an and the. And fourth level. Any number, any word that deals with number can be called as a numerator. Can also be referred to as an adjective in the sentence. Which level? Fourth level. So level is a noun. So these are word classes. They broadly belong to two types, the open and the closed. The open class is also called the content or the lexical class, which only has nouns, lexical verbs, adjectives and adverbs. But it's called open because words are being continuously added to it and the number of words that come under this category is too huge. Whereas under the next class, closed class, we do not have lots of words. The list is big, but words that come under this are not many and they only serve function or grammatical purpose. For example, the determiners, the pronouns, prepositions, conjunctions, auxiliary verbs, enumerators and interjections. They have only some grammatical function to perform in the sentence and they will not carry like for example, what can be the meaning of a word like am? It is a grammatical words. It's a verb, a be form of verb. For example, am is, was, are, were. All these five words are also verbs. So these words come under this category. And then we're going to see about we've come to the conclusion. I had something else to. Right, let's see if it's here. I think it will follow this, yes. So, in my not so humble opinion, said Albus Dumbledore, and we collectively say from Spellbee International, in our not so humble opinion, words cast spells, and that's why it's called spelling. So words are energy, and you must use them wisely. So yeah, this is what I was waiting for actually, because I want to pull over and I want you to witness the birth of a word, how a word is given birth to. Where do I? Yes. I need to play this. Okay, now I will be able to play the video. I've made it possible. Just a second. Okay, I finally got it. Trust me, this time around I'm going to play this video. So we're going to witness the birth of a word in English.
Of fubbing. You've just been fubbing. Okay, stop. Take a step back. Where do words like this even come from? Where did this one come from? Well, on an otherwise unremarkable day in May 2012, a group of people gathered at the University of Sydney, Australia. Amongst the group was a lexicologist, a phonetician, a debating champion, a poet, several authors, and a cruciverbalist. That's a professional crossword maker. Their mission was to create a word that would get people to put their phones down and get talking to each other again. And so, with a room full of brilliant minds, the search for a word to describe ignoring others in favour of your phone began.
Nubbing, frothing, frolling, igging, exing, nothering, knitting, telly snub, and then fubbing. And he's a fubber, and would you stop fubbing me?
The word was released into the wild the following day, seeded into social conversations, and championed by a new movement known simply as Stop Fubbing. From its country of origin, it spread, first through the English-speaking world, then Brazil, and right through South and Central America. Europe was next, followed by Southeast and Central Asia. Within a year, over 180 countries were using it.
Fubbing, the war against antisocial phone use.
Why the Stop Fubbing campaign is going viral.
Fubbing can be fatal.
Are you a fubber? The backlash against fubbing.
Ignoring the person in front of you in favour of your phone was now a behaviour with a name, and a behaviour being questioned right around the globe, all because of a single word born in a university hall at the bottom of the world. Language is always changing. Update your dictionary.
Right, did you like the video? We really thank the dictionary makers who are in Australia who came up with that video. So that video explained us how words are now being consciously brought to the English language, because we now have problems and issues that need to be addressed which have no names. When we have not a name, when we do not have a name or label to address something, we do not know how to address that problem. So that with that need for that word was created, and that's how the word was added to the lexicon. Now, lexicon is the vocabulary, the total stock of the words in English. Right, so that video is the conclusion to our hour-long session on these 3 rounds on words. And I really hope you enjoyed the session as I enjoyed presenting it and preparing this video to you. This presentation, I prepared this using this software called Emaze uh, because I thought PowerPoint would be boring. And you can also use this platform. Emaze.com is a really wonderful website that I really liked. And they're not paying me anything to say this. For your projects as well, you can use softwares like this. And Prezi is also good. Deepkani madam will be using that software. So we have lots in store for you, and every session can will be having a feedback form where you will be writing your feedback on how the session was, and you can submit it to us. So I want to conclude saying this: your words have, according to me, creative power. It's not creative in the general sense of the word. You can create with your words. That's what I mean. Your written words or your spellings have a magical effect on your reality. Words spoken with intuition and intention have power of epic proportions, and words written with feeling, and faith are highly creative. So use words not only to view or describe things as they are, but you can use words to bring things into existence. Meaning, I'll want you to write your own original work. You can do it, my darling students. Please do try. Words are your weapons. And I've already told you they have immense power. Use them wisely. Thank you so much. With this, I end my session, my first session. I'll meet you in other sessions too. We'll be discussing all your rounds, your exact rounds in group specific videos. I'll be discussing your words, your crossword exercises, and your compound words and kinds and types of words. That will also be following this, right? So I'll meet you there. Bye bye.